Hello everyone, and welcome to the final update for The Dark Below.
Yay.
This is Crota's End, the raid for the Dark Below. And my fire team consists of the same two bastards who helped me out last time, Amethyr and Lazy Fire.
Hopefully you guys can actually get this done this time.
We did actually. Not in one sitting.
What a way to start a video.
Look, I may have baited Lazy Fire into that on accident. So, our first step into actually doing this is build that bridge by standing on this plate here. It takes a hot sec.
See, that seems more like a Vex thing than a Hive thing. I know Hive are all about Hive magics and stuff like that, but building things by standing on a plate, that's Vex.
Well, we're doing it here, and this is definitely Hive. And it's done now, but we wanted to make sure. We wanted to make damn sure.
Way to steal Hive. Can't even come up with your own things.
Yeah, look. That sounds about right.
Actually, that's more Ride of the Fallen.
Yeah. But the Hive aren't above it either. They don't scavenge, they just kind of take wholesale.
Just steal it.
Anyway.
Just walk into a shop and walk out with it.
Let's follow into a deep dark kick, shall we?
Why not? Ooh, lovely.
Oh, yes. All things told, this is the first time I'd actually seen this raid. And all things told, I really enjoyed it. It was a good raid. So, our first obstacle is to make our way through this terrifyingly dark, enthrall-filled pit. All the while using these lanterns to clear that Weight of Darkness debuff.
So what does the Weight of Darkness debuff do exactly? Did it just make you run slow?
Oh dear. It stacks up to 10 times, and each stack does take away your movement speed, and at the end of it, you're barely even crawling. And you can't double jump, and you're just getting swarmed by Thrall, and Thrall, and Thrall, and more Thrall.
Well, it is the Hive. They only know one tactic, and that's just throw Thrall at it.
Interesting note, actually, about this video is that Amethyr is actually using the fully upgraded exotic version of the Eidolon ally that I've got. He's using Necrochasm, which causes everything to explode like a cursed Thrall.
Ooh, why don't you have that?
I couldn't grind it out, because in order to finish it off, I needed to do this exact raid on the highest possible difficulty, which is the 390 light version.
Aha, right. See, why does stuff like that exist in Destiny 2?
I'm sure it will.
That's a cool idea.
I'm sure it will. So, this is like our maybe 10th try, I want to say, at finishing this out. We were having a lot of trouble getting past this part, because, as you see, I'm passing there on the left, that pit, insta-death. You can't res your teammates until you reach the end of this whole thing.
Wait, really?
Yeah. And, as you can see, Amethyr is not with us. He actually went off to go looking for chests to open. So Lazy Fire and I soldiered on ahead, and we're making okay work of it. Again, this would be a whole lot more help if we had 6 people just to help cover everyone's asses.
No, you can do it with 3. If you can do it with 3, why not? Well, except for the first raid, you couldn't do that with 3.
Not entirely, at least. But yeah, if a note about the lanterns is that if you stay near them too long, they'll actually explode and kill you. So you have to keep moving.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, you can see it
Hive
starts.
magic, god damn it.
It starts turning red, and that's your cue to get the hell out of there.
Oh, yep, I can see the red right now.
And I am thoroughly lost.
And here we go, Way of Darkness 10.
Yep, you can see exactly how slowly I'm moving here. I'm gonna get to this
Is
lantern.
that running speed?
This is full. This is all I can do. I can't even sprint. But yeah, I got there so late that as soon as I got to the lantern, I had to keep going. And by lazy fire.
So wait, when can you revive them?
So I think we ran into a bug where we could actually revive them where they dropped, but the original intent, like there's a pop-up notification that says team revives disabled or something. So either they lifted the restriction, or there's a bug that we encountered that allowed us to revive them in the middle of it. I opted to move on, and Amathir is going to go ahead and revive him whenever he catches up.
Maybe if you suck too hard, they just remove that restriction.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not going to say otherwise. But yeah, more than anything, this is all about finding the next light in the darkness and not falling into pits.
Of course, I hear falling into pits is bad for your health.
Generally, yes. Also, holy thrall.
Yeah, that's a lot of thrall.
And then I go ahead and auto-aim to a cursed thrall. That was great.
If only there was someone with you, I'm sure you would have survived that.
Maybe. Maybe.
So wait, I'm guessing you've exploded all the lanterns, or made them close to exploding, so now these guys have to run through with 10 heaviness on them.
Basically, yes. If we had had all three of us going at the same time, it wouldn't have been quite so bad.
Right.
In saying that, yes, we did fail even as 3 at this, because there's just so many goddamn thrall, and the last bit is a bit of a holdout section while you build another bridge, or open a door, or whatever it is.
Yeah, geez, look at all those thrall.
Yeah, it's nuts. But hey, you know what kills thrall quickly? Is a Sith Lord.
Warlocks. Oh, that too. So wait, if you die, you spawn immediately with 10 Weight of Darkness?
I think so. I wasn't honestly paying that much attention to the debuff.
Either was I. I just noticed you had 10 Weight of Darkness all of a sudden.
Yeah, listen to all those explosions. And that's not him killing any cursed at all. That's just them exploding because he's got necrochasm.
See, I was going to say, make sure not to stab any exploding thrall. I hear that's also bad for your health.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, here's the final bit. In which case, you have to stand on this plate, like you did at the beginning, and a bridge starts to form behind you. Well, behind me, I guess. So, yeah, see, forming a bridge across that huge chasm into that bright light.
I was going to say, I don't see any thrall yet.
Oh, no, there's not just thrall not anymore. Now there's knights and ogres too, and
Ah, yes.
you know.
Our old friend the ogre.
This is a very hairy fight. But we do have a Night Stalker Hunter, which is the third and final Taken King subclass that we've yet to see.
Can I just say this music's great? It's really making me feel like I'm in the Matrix. Or a Blade movie.
There you go. That was what I was going to suggest.
Mm-hmm. Damn, would have been the perfect time to make that joke when you use your Blade Dancer. You're really holding on to that, aren't you?
Oh yeah, we were actually just barely finished with that when both of us went down. So now it's Lazy Fire's turn to just go.
Run, Lazy Fire, run.
We were telling him just run past that ogre. He's like, nope. Mm-mm. This motherfucker dies. Oh, it was great.
I don't blame him. I have a... just... loathe of ogres.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's that. And now comes probably my least favorite part of the raid. Well, only because we had to do this with 3 people.
I'm sure with 6 it'd be more fun. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, so, going to that middle plate starts a wipe mechanism unless two of your friends start standing on those little totems I was pointing at on either side. So... Alright. So, you have to stand on this middle plate to start spawning a bridge to the other side. And like I said, it also starts a wipe mechanism. So, the way this works is that there's going to be a sword bearer knight who's going to spawn. You got to kill him, grab a sword, and take it across, and then kill a gatekeeper knight with it. And you have to do this a total of, I think, 4 times before they just give you the swords so everyone can get across.
Okay, it's kind of oddly sexual in tone, but I understand so far.
So, the big problem is, of course, that we only have 3 people, and we have to kill 4 gatekeepers. So, the way we ended up doing this is we would kill the sword bearer, take the sword across, make sure the gatekeeper would spawn, and then whoever had the sword killed themselves. So that they would respawn over here, and so we could reset the pattern and get more swords and whatnot. At first we were trying to do it so that whoever got a sword just went straight across, but then we weren't killing enough gatekeepers on the other side to spawn the extra swords so that everyone could get across. And, finish out the encounter that way. Because after you get across, you have to kill like 3 or 4 extra gatekeepers as well when everyone's over. It was a mess. Let's just say it was a huge mess, and it took very many attempts to actually finish this thing out.
Surprising you actually got it done.
Yeah, well, we were determined.
I like that you're playing Ring Around the Rosie with the sword guy right now.
Yeah, it was working out a few attempts before we did this one. And then this time it just didn't.
He had your number.
He did. It's okay because I found a more consistent method of dodging him as soon as I'm able to be revived.
So where are you right now?
Where are we? We are actually technically within... Okay, so we fell into the Hellmouth, right? But we are not there anymore. We are actually in Crota's Ascendant Realm. Which is... hard to explain, really. Think almost like a Valhalla kind of place, or a Purgatory. And you've got the basic gist.
So not the Hive homeworld, but...
No. So yeah, here's my plan for actually dodging this guy. Baiting out a strike and then running straight past him.
There you go. Now you're learning how to Play the sword dance.
As a blade dancer, you'd think I'd already know. So yeah, whenever you're standing on the plate, the sword stays spawned. But, you know, when you get off, the bridge starts despawning. And you can't go back across the bridge because a raid mechanic will kill you if you try. And you need a sword to cross the bridge. Otherwise, you die. So, yeah, we had to take a sword across one by one, spawn 4 gatekeepers, and then in the process of getting everyone over, the other 2 would spawn. And then everyone would be able to get over with swords and everything. So that's what we're looking at here. I probably should have sped this entire section up, but you know.
At least past the point where you actually ran across the bridge.
Yeah. Well, honestly, once we got the method down, it actually went fairly quickly. I mean, in terms of, you know, having 3 people doing this as fast as that can possibly go.
That's right, everyone obviously is going to be watching this to listen to more of our great jokes and great voices for longer. It all works out in the end.
So yeah, there's 3 gatekeepers. You can see in the far back corners there's doors that open up, and these guys kind of spawn out of them. I'm dancing on one of them's head. He didn't like it very much.
Can't blame him.
So that was number 3. We need one more, and then
just one more.
Yeah, one more, and then everyone will start going across, and then the actual kind of end of this encounter starts.
I like that in Destiny 2, not all encounters in a raid are boss encounters.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like what this is. This is an encounter that doesn't actually technically count as a boss.
But I'm guessing you still get like items, and it's still technically counted as boss in terms of the raid.
Kind of.
It's kind of more like a puzzle, which I like.
Yeah.
Guardian down.
So when we first started trying to do the 3-man attempts here, the way we were doing it was we were dancing on and off that center pad there so we could form the bridge and not wipe. But as it turns out, peer-to-peer connections are kind of buggy sometimes, and it would kill someone.
Who knew?
It would kill someone without actually wiping the entire raid if we stepped off slightly too late, thanks to lag. And that's what happened to Amethyr here, is he died to the Annihilator Totem. Even though I was definitely off of it at the time.
Yeah, I believe I saw that. Weird.
Yeah. And of course Lazy Fire had the sword, so he just kind of jumped off the bridge once he saw the Gatekeeper spawn. So his was intentional, Amethyr's was not. Anyway.
At least one of those deaths was on purpose.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's where we start actually having to do that dance I was just talking about, because to get everyone across, we're going to have to do that dance. Because once one of the team leaves off of their totem, the white mechanic starts kicking into effect. So in order to actually have that bridge formed, we have to dance on and off the plate and hope that peer-to-peer doesn't fuck us over. Which it did quite often, I might add.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it's one of those things that kind of isn't so hot about Destiny sometimes. But, you know, it's okay.
Peer-to-peer doesn't work for Call of Duty. I'm surprised that it still exists in its current form. Very surprised.
So there we go. Amethyr's leaving for his final trip across the bridge. And now begins fun times with dancing. So you do have some time before the Annihilator Totems actually kill you. As you can see, it starts draining your super bar rather heftily. Basically, you kind of have to dance more or less in time with that super meter draining from full. Of course, you're not going to be able to see that, since I never had full super in this encounter. But that's more or less the timing. And of course, the bridge won't stay fully active the entire time. It will start deconstructing and reconstructing each time you step on and off.
So what kind of dance is this? Is this the foxtrot or the tango or...
This is square dancing.
Square dancing was always the most boring dance.
So yeah, I have to stand on this thing long enough for the screen to go almost completely red. And then hope like hell that, you know, connection favors us. That's the only way to get this thing to actually get moving. Because as you see, I've stepped on and off this thing like 3 or 4 times, and that thing has not started forming, and only now has just begun.
Sounds like peer-to-peer.
Yep, there you go. Bridge is fully formed. Now we have to wait for that sword bearer.
Come on, sword bearer, where are you at?
There he is. And there goes Lazy Fire, leaving me as the last guy on this side of the chasm.
Well, I sure hope that you don't have to take the equivalent of three people's enemies down by yourself.
Kind of, yes. But at least I don't have to dance anymore, since the 2 on that side can operate the dance on their end, and it will form the bridge. But also, since we got enough of them across, and killed enough gatekeepers, the path is whole, I get a sword, and I can just go straight across.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, all in all,
That's
not too bad.
a lot of swords.
Yeah, so the first wave, well, the first few waves are a bunch of Thrall and some Knights. And I think once you clear 2 or 3 waves, the 4 gatekeepers that you still need to kill spawn in. Those statues leading up that staircase, those are the indicators of how many you have to kill and how many you have killed.
Seems there's a few effects of the swords. One is which it makes your super meter charge super fast.
Yes, but that is for your super, for your sword, not your actual super.
Right.
Yes, and that was that kind of shockwave thing I did. Same animation as the heavy slam, but it has the electrical arc shockwave as well added to it. I'll be using it again shortly.
It's got space magic
Hey
in
look,
it.
Gate Lords. Bam. Or Gatekeepers even. And that's that.
That wasn't too bad.
No.
Just long.
Yeah, well, it would have been much... I can't say that. I can't say it would have been much shorter with 6 people. It just would have been less obnoxious, less tedious. One of those.
Less 7 hours cut out.
You joke 7, but I mean, in reality, we did spend like 2 to 3, maybe 4 hours on this one section alone. And you want to know how long the last couple encounters took?
Oh.
1 or 2
A minute?
attempts each.
So yeah, a minute then.
And like I said, this was my first time going through this entire raid, so I was basically... I did a little bit of research beforehand, but I was basically going in through this, blind and picking my way through. Which I think actually may have helped me in Lazy Fire, because we didn't know what we were walking into in the first place, so we kind of devised the 3-man strategies we used throughout the thing, and anyway.
How are you not dead?
I'm not going to talk. I'm not going
You
to.
had-
I'm not going to worry about it.
Your health bar wasn't even showing. Hacks.
So if
I know how you did the other two encounters now.
So if we had made it through that hallway faster, that door in the back would have been open and there would have been a chest back there, but we didn't make it. Oh well, no big loss. All of the
I'm sure there wouldn't have been anything interesting in there anyway.
well, it would have been of level for when this raid was new. So item level like 200 maybe. If that, or 150 or something like that. So now we have stepped into the next encounter, which only took us one go. Basically, we have to clear out wizards and knights from both sides, and then convene in the middle to kill a special wizard. That one. But we can't kill her yet. We have to take care of everything else first.
You gotta kill the guards before you can kill the king.
Indeed.
Unless you have some kind of poison or... I don't know, I'm pretty sure kings were very easy to trick into being killed. So...
Oh yes, I'm sure. So yeah, there's going to be a wizard on either side. You have to kill them. There, and then the Shriekers too, because Shriekers are everyone's favorite hive technology thing. They are so much of a favorite, they return in the second game. And even more annoying.
Let me tell you, I love the hive. I love... my favourite enemies are the ogres, and the wizards, and the shriekers. I just absolutely love them to death.
Anyway, in most cases, you would split up the raid team evenly to kind of tackle a side on their own. In this case, you know, we took them one by one, and it wasn't any big deal because we are overpowered for this thing.
Makes sense.
Anyway, now that all the preliminary junk is out of the way, we get to kill Iryut, the Death Singer.
I'm sure you said that completely wrong, but I don't think the hive are going to be too offended.
Doesn't matter. Look how much of a chump she is.
Yes, because as we discussed, all wizards are female.
Mm-hmm.
I think we discussed that.
We did. Anyway, here is the final encounter. This is us actually killing Crota now. And let me tell you, he makes quite an entrance.
Oh, I thought he was the big thing in the background.
Nope. That is a completely different mechanic. That is called an Oversoul, and it will wipe you if you can't kill it in time. Thankfully, it only kicks in if one of your raid team dies, which on this particular attempt didn't happen, so we don't have to worry about it at all.
Fantastic.
Nope. But as you can see, we have a debuff. Presence of Crota. All health regen is completely shuttered. It doesn't happen. Now, to counteract this, there is an item that I am actually running to go get now, in that little pillar of light there. Give it a sec.
Crota is so powerful, he can just cancel your health regen.
Yep. So I now have the Chalice of Light, which will re-enable my health regen. Now, we have to pass this thing around in order to keep everyone alive. And in order to kill the boss, we have to kill the sword bearers first. Because the sword is the only way you can actually damage the boss. And,
Right, makes sense.
And pay attention to the music cues, because this is pretty fucking awesome, I think. While you have the sword, this extra little track plays on top of the regular background music. And it's also
Tearing up.
It also serves as a bit of a timer for you. So your teammates who don't have the sword have to take out Crota's shield, which will allow you to get in close and start smacking him with the sword to take out his health. And you have to be the hell out of there before he stands back up, or pretty much he'll just fucking murder your ass. and then rinse and repeat the cycle. There's tons of thrall, of course, and you have to wait a little while for the next sword bearer to spawn. And on each of the little parapets in the upper corners there, knights will spawn and start showering you with artillery fire.
Well, it seems like with 3 people, it's easier and harder. More mobs to clear out, but easier to pass the chalice around.
Yeah. Yeah, we were very able, we were better able to kind of communicate who needs what, like, at which point. Like here I'm saying, oh, I'm gonna need that cup now. But yeah, it was made simpler by that fact. So, it wasn't really made a decision, but Lazy Fire and Amethyr both decided, hey, you take the sword, you go kill him. I'm like, okay, I'll take the sword and I'll go kill him. In case you're wondering.
Privilege.
I guess so, huh?
I'm having a chat to my union rep about this.
So, depending on how quickly you get up there and start damaging him, you do have some time before the sword despawns, so you can use it to kind of clear out the small fry downstairs. And, I hate to admit it, but I needed the chalice longer than anyone else did in this attempt. I took the most damage by far.
You were the person running around with a sword, though.
I mean, yes. There is that, but still. So every third wave, ogres spawn. In case things didn't get hairy enough for you. And also, I wasn't able to show it off very clearly, but Crota will move around on you. You kind of have to watch out for him, because like I said, if you're close to him while he's not stunned, he will just straight up slam your ass in the ground.
Look, no wonder you're needing the Chalice of Light so often. You just punched a knight in the face. How did you think that was going to go for you?
I mean, he's dead and I'm not, so...
Yeah, but he got a hit off. That isn't going to tickle.
So Amethyr, we were kind of sloppy on the calls, and we weren't aware that Crota had moved to that side. So when Amethyr went up to that side, we were very lucky that he didn't die. Actually, we were very lucky, and he was good enough to say, "Oh, I'm getting the hell out of here right now." But yeah, I have to wait until Crota takes a knee. And I could have killed him there, but I got a little spooked. So we got to do one more round.
As I said, just longer. Longer for everyone to hear my great jokes right now.
Hey, it's not an hour long like the Vault of Glass video was, alright?
That is true. That is very true. Vault of Glass was a long one.
Yeah.
I can't sleep at night anymore because I keep hearing the oracle sounds in my head.
Alright, so one more sword should do it here. We just need him to spawn, we need to kill him, and then we're good to go, right?
Why do I feel like there's a wrong?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Alright, there he is, right across that little gap. Let's go fucking finish this right now. In the most stylish way possible. Nope!
I have no words.
Oh, I was so... Look, I was so very blue-balled by that one. I think my teammates laughed at me more out of disbelief than of actual humor.
I mean, I'm speechless, so good job.
Look, it would have been amazing. It would have been amazing.
You just miscalculated. You didn't carry the one. That's all.
Anyway, we gotta deal with one more round of ogres, but that's about the worst of it, really.
I feel like this other round of ogres could have been avoided, but I can't quite put my finger on why.
Look, it's not even a problem. Not even a problem. You know, Amethyr's just... Or, sorry, that's Lazy Fire. Lazy Fire is just, you know, running a train of Thrall through the center of the room. As you do.
Yeah, as you do. I mean, how else are you going to run away? I didn't even see the Chalice of Light drop. You already had it in your inventory. Do you have to use a prompt to pick it up?
Yeah, it doesn't drop on the ground. You have to pick it back up from your teammates. You have to be close enough to get to them, and then pick it up with a prompt. Anyway, there you go.
Oh, I see. No stylus finish. Okay.
Yeah, look. At that point...
You literally could not have missed that one.
At that point, you know, it wasn't even worth it. So yeah, Crota's dead. The Hive stopped for now. We did some good work.
You still have the presence of Crota.
Yeah, well...
Maybe he's not dead after all. I just expect this of you now.